Good morning, students. So today we're going to talk about AI and SIFT when we are trying to research something. Okay, so I'm going to start my slideshow. The first thing we're going to do, well, actually, let's look at the Common Core standards. Okay, so here are the standards for K through 2 and 3 through 5. Okay. Here's our agenda. We're going to introduce AI and maybe some chat GPT. We're going to discuss concerns and practice ways that you can use it for better efficiency. So we're going to have an introduction. We're going to practice it. We're going to have reflections. Okay. So here's the first piece that we're going to look at. So how are you feeling about the use of AI? So there's a couple of little pictures here, and so you get to choose which way you are feeling. So you will drag the little dot and choose. Like this one is looking for AI. This one is fainted. This is a little fainting goat. Looks like the puppy is pretty happy. Looks like this one is kind of scared, like not so sure. And then this one's like, wow. Okay, so you'll pull that little dot to how you feel. Ooh, okay. So I'm seeing some that are happy about it, some that are not so happy about it. Okay, so let's talk about, let's reflect on something, okay, real quick. So what I want you to do is I want you to minimize your Zoom screen, and I want you to go to ChatGPT and type in this. Provide 5 rules for learning together. And then we're going to come back together and we're going to discuss it. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple minutes to go type that in for me. Okay, all right, everybody have it? Okay, now I'm going to give everybody about 5 minutes to discuss with your neighbor what kind of 5 rules for learning together ChatGPT came up with. Okay, so ChatGPT came up with these, and I want you to tell me if you agree or disagree with all 5. Okay, all right, let's keep going. So here are some AI options and resources that I included just so that if we needed to look at some of those. Okay, so here's our next steps. Okay, we're going to talk about why media literacy. We're going to talk about the SIFT moves and strategies, and we have some resources we're going to talk about. Okay, so here's our agenda to better understand how to help our students triangulate data and navigate an increasing world of misinformation, to understand the focus on teaching SIFT strategies, and to learn about the SIFT process. Okay, we're going to learn all about that. So here's a little bit of a background. District librarians were looking for an effective method for identifying misinformation and stopping its spread. So misinformation is anything that is not true, that is something that you looked up that is not true from the internet. Okay, so we're trying to put a stop to misinformation. Okay, so here's a SIFT method. It's a set of 4 moves and corresponding strategies that teach students to be fact checkers, digital detectives, and savvy researchers, where you can identify accurate information and dismantle the spread of misinformation. Okay, this is a quick video on the introduction to SIFT. Okay, so we're going to watch this real quick and then we'll keep going. It's only about 2 minutes long. Okay, so here's a couple of definitions that you need to know. Misinformation is unintentional mistakes such as inaccurate photo captions, dates, statistics, translations, or when satire is taken seriously. Think of it like this. When you make a mistake, you don't know any better. Okay? Disinformation is fabricated or deliberately manipulated content. Okay, if you dissed someone, you meant to insult them. It's all about intent. Whether or not the person sharing news knows the information they are sharing is false. Okay, so here's our SIFT method poster. Okay, so SIFT, the S in SIFT stands for stop. Okay, so we're going to talk about it first. The stop move. Stop teaches much needed SEL skills of self-management, self-awareness, social awareness, and responsible decision making. Building SEL skills are a part of almost all of our building's SIP goals. Okay, so before taking action, we want to investigate the source, we want to find better or more trusted coverage, and we want to trace the content to its original source. Okay, so the next one is investigate. The I stands for investigate the source. So don't just take something for granted and only look it up one time. You need to make sure that you're investigating the correct source. Okay, what is the reputation of this source? Why is this information being shared? What's the motive? 3 questions that fact checkers ask are, who is behind the information? What's the evidence? And what do other people say? Okay, so you have to sniff out this information. Okay, so you could go and look on Wikipedia, right? Just add your Wikipedia and look on it. We're going to skip that video for right now. Okay, so let's practice some. So let's look at this video here, okay? This is a video of Joe Rogan. The Amazon is a colossal mystery with Graham Hancock. Okay, so who is behind this source? Let's look at it. Okay, so we know that it looks like it is maybe Joe Rogan's podcast or something like that, right? But is he behind the information? We don't know, right? I don't think so. What about Graham Hancock? Okay, look at this. This is who shared it. We think maybe they're behind the information since they shared it. Okay, so we have to figure out who is behind it. Rogan interviewed a writer named Graham Hancock about the secrets of the ancient Amazon in this video. Okay, so who is Graham Hancock? Let me get this erased, okay, so we don't see my little lines. All right, a quick Wikipedia search tells us Graham Bruce Hancock is a British writer who promotes theories involving ancient civilizations and lost lands. Okay, his writings have neither undergone scholarly peer review nor been published in academic journals. Okay, so next we have the F in our SIFT method, and we have to find better coverage. Okay, so sometimes you don't need to dig into a source, you just want to find out if the claim is true or not. Here in this video, we'll learn some strategies for finding better or more trusted coverage. Okay, now we'll keep going. Find better coverage. Resources for lateral reading. Wikipedia, fact-checking sites, news articles from trusted news sources. Okay, find better coverage. Visit other sites to confirm the information. Use fact-checking sites like these: factcheck.org, Snopes.com, Roozer has it, PolitiFact, winner of the Pulitzer Prize, Poynter, a global leader in journalism. Okay, news organizations and fact-checking. So here are some different ways that you can check through the information that you are reading. researching, or using. Okay, and then last we have the T. We have trace. We want to trace claims, quotes, and media to the original content. Okay, here's our little footprint. It's like our tracing. Okay, trace the information to the original source. Follow links and or hover over profiles. Do a reverse image search for photos and videos. Use Control and F to find terms. Check the date. Check the date is a very big one. Make sure that you're checking your date on your information. The broken telephone game. So this is a game where this little girl will whisper a phrase into the next person's ear. By the time it gets down to this person, the phrase will have changed. So that's why you always check the source. Okay, you want to use Google to search for an image. You can download the image, things like that. Okay, so here are the sources that were in the presentation. Okay, if you need to look through those. We'll skip that one. So here's a couple of modifications that I would use for this lesson, okay? If I needed to modify something, I could use text to speech, speech to text. Text to speech would be reading the slides to my students. We could also use the chat feature to answer any of the questions instead of out loud. So we could use chat, and then it would be kind of anonymous because you would be using chat and sending me a message through there instead. Assessment is going to be the observation while everybody is working and completing the assignments and doing the discussion that I asked them to do and talking to their peers. I will be observing all of that to make sure that everybody understands the SIFT method. Okay. All right, and that is the end of my lesson for today. I hope y'all enjoyed it and y'all remembered the SIFT method for me.